Thanksgiving is here, and Pennsylvania is a cornucopia of many Thanksgiving favorites, and we can thank Pennsylvania's climate for that. Pennsylvania ranks among the top states for Thanksgiving food production, such as pumpkins, potatoes, corn, and apples. Weather at the beginning of the growing season is crucial for the end of the year crops, as farmers need the right conditions to start the entire season off right.
Weather impacts us from beginning to the end of the season. It's actually super crucial in the beginning of the season that you get the correct weather to really get things started properly. This year we did not have the correct weather. It was a miserable spring. It was very cold and dry, which nothing likes cold and dry. Certain things like wet and cold, but nothing likes cold and dry. And so it was actually a very challenging year because of how we started. So no, the beginning of it makes a huge impact on the rest of the growing season.
According to the Rockefeller Institute of Government, Pennsylvania is the 10th largest producer of sweet corn in the country. Like all other crops, weather did have a role in this season's sweet corn yield.
We had a lot of problems with this spring with the sweet corn because it was so dry it would not germinate. So we actually had to start irrigating it very early, way earlier than I ever have. And so we actually had a lot of problems early. Plus it was so cold that it didn't want to germinate. So we were very late getting our sweet corn started. Once it came up, then we got lots of rain. Sweet corn likes it hot and wet. So at the end of the day, we actually had pretty good yields on the sweet corn.
For Thanksgiving dessert, pie is a staple, and Pennsylvania is no slouch when it comes to the apple and pumpkin scene either. In fact, Pennsylvania ranks 4th in the nation for apple yield and 2nd in the nation for pumpkin harvests.
You know, apples are one of those things that they decide what their growing season is going to be based upon when they want to start blooming. This year, everything bloomed very early because we had a lot of warmth early, followed by the cold and dry. So they start in April, basically with their starting towards bloom, and then they bloom this year actually in April. It wasn't even May, what it typically is. So they start, and then we have to take care of them all summer long, and we harvest them at the end of October, beginning of November is when we typically finish our harvest of apples. And then we store them through Thanksgiving. And then pumpkins are pretty much the same as apples. They just start a little bit later, but they finish up at the same time here in October.
Growing seasons matter, as the most popular Thanksgiving foods are harvested during autumn, and history may explain why certain foods are seen as typical for this time of year.
Apples and pumpkins are a mid to late fall crop where their harvest season is that September, October, and that's why I think you see so much of them in the Thanksgiving meals is because back before we had all the fancy refrigeration and all the different things we have now, they were kind of the last things to come off, and that made them very popular in that mid to late fall, early winter time frame.
Thanksgiving foods are not just a fall staple, they also allow farmers to earn their livelihoods. Weather plays an important role in the production of all of our foods, so we should give thanks to nature and the farmers for allowing us to enjoy a Thanksgiving feast. For Weather World, I'm student meteorologist Benjamin Iaia.